Say hi to my executive assistant. So I've got a vision for the future, and it came from me getting into kind of self-testing stuff into my body and the things that I wanted to do. So shout out Danko because he got me into the world of peptides. And it's if you haven't got into that rabbit hole, it's a big one and it's quite fun. And he kind of gave me the guidance, but I wasn't going to ask him about uh, well, every single small detail that I wanted to ask him about because it is kind of weird. And you do need to kind of have a little bit of a guinea pig in you to want to try all this stuff. But I did. And so I started using a lot of new stuff. And then I realized that I was asking AI to kind of coach me through it. And previously, well, I made a note that I don't let AI coach me. Like, I don't ask it things that might be, I don't know, I feel like it's just going to agree with me on everything I say. You know what I mean? But I started asking it a lot of stuff, and it was actually quite helpful on a new topic that I didn't really understand, but now I feel like I've got a not horrible comprehension of. And I noted, well, I'm letting AI coach me now, so is this a thing now? Is this what I do now? Let AI coach me? And then it started proving quite helpful, and I got results for myself. And a lot of what AI can do kind of comes down to what examples do you give it, and kind of comes down to how do you train it. It's kind of like when you work with people, and a lot of people just hate, for example, consulting, right, or coaching. And it's not so much what you do, but who you do it with. A lot of the generic and kind of the same thing that AI gives everybody, it's just, it doesn't know what you really want. It doesn't know what it looks like. You haven't really given it an example that it can go and give you more of. And I was looking at everything I've got over this past 2 years that got me to $104,000 in MRR. I've got like over 500 hours of recorded stuff, like calls, right? I've got over 55 workshops that I put maybe 3 or 4 days each of work to make it concise and good. I've got over 1,000 emails that I've sent, and I know which ones converted. I got a list of the ones that did the best. And I've noted all of the rules that I have for my own copywriting, and everything's just there, kind of in well, it's in the in the Lexing Cash place where people can just, well, clients can get it, right? But these are all examples of things that I've done. These are all things that I can use uh, to create a result. And so I had a vision. I had a vision in which I could turn all these examples into kind of food for AI. And I had a vision for Cashie. So what is Cashie? Cashie, she's a she. Cashie is a GPT that has everything and all the philosophy that understands, breeds, and lives kind of the likes and cash philosophy of that took me to $104,000 in MRR. And it's got all of the stuff fed into it. And my intention for the future is so that the cash creators will have Cashie, and I'll make Cashie available for a lot of people so that she can answer stuff as if it were me. So she can take, actually, let me just pull it up. Let me just give you the things that I'm gonna teach Cashie to do. So the intention is creating a world where you can ask Cashie anything as if it were me. So ask it what I would change if about your offer. Send over a piece of content and ask it, what would JK do here? How would he edit it if he were me? Have a ghostwriter train on my 45 personal copy rules that I've actually written and have actually converted. Get a launch strategy from me, with what to post and on which days. You can rant to it in a voice note, ideally, so that I can show you, and it'll be trained on what I look for when I look for big ideas, so it might be able to extract yours. Get my answer to exactly what I tell that lead that told you he was going to pay, but then he never did. Cashie knows what I do, and she'll tell you. Ideally, we'd have a world where you can copy paste your content into Cashie and ask it, are there any red flags? Is this whale bait or fish bait? If so, how can I make this whale bait? Is this value or insight? Turn it into insight. Help me map out my next 10 weeks of offers. I don't know how to plug my offer into this stuff. You know how sometimes you write a piece of content, you don't know how to make a plug? This shows you how. And I want more leads from my audience today. What are my options? And so on and so on. And I'm developing Cashie as I go. I'm asking people who are very smart, much smarter than me, and they're teaching me how to do all of this AI stuff. And what makes me really excited about this is that I have all the examples. I have everything that I've done over the last 2 years. It's all recorded. It's just not ordered. You know what I mean? I'll be rapping. But it's recorded, it's just not ordered. And what if I did order it? What if it was somewhere? What if it was all fed into Cashie and she could tell you what the Lex and Cash philosophy would do at that specific moment for yourself? What if it could learn from you? What if it could take all of your biases and kind of tell you when, and we all have this. I'll say it about myself. When it's very helpful for me to know when I have an actual problem or when I'm just being a little bitch. And Cashie will know. She knows. And she can show you, kind of get some clarity on what you need the most right now. So this is going to be a big project. It's a 3-month project that I'm going into to release it before the end of 2025. And I know it's not small, and I know it's not going to be something that's as easy as putting out a PDF or something similar. But when it comes out, it'll be good. And it'll be trained on everything I've done to get to this point. And it'll be available. So when I post, I'll keep updating people on how this goes. But that's my vision for the future. It's a Cashie. So she can show you what I would do, what the Lex and Cash philosophy and the model that got me here would do in your specific situation. And it'll all be accessible to you so that you can just do it whenever you want. So yeah, that's my vision for the future. Cashie, today's day 1, today's September, going into October. So hopefully it'll be done by the end of the year. So I guess I'll see you, and Cashie will see you soon.